Intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Yeah, it's time to empower, educate, and encourage your women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into your lane talk show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more will we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the dark. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hanna.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Lane Talk Show with your coach, Trish Hanna, broadcasting here live in Nassau, Bahamas on the 96.9 FM dial, Guardian Radio. I am so happy to be a part of your listening time on this beautiful Sunday today. And of course, if you are tuning in for the first time, we had a lot of new listeners last week. I pray that those listeners return. But if you're tuning in for the first time, Your Lane Talk Show is a show where we empower, encourage, and educate women and men of all ages. And as I've stated before, a colleague of mine said, this is the People Show. And I'm going to continue to say this is the People Show. Yes. Initially, it was like, yeah, this is for the women. This is for the women. And I realized most of our topics have benefited both men and women. Even though it's supposed to be a women talk show, it was just amazing to know that so many of us, men and women, have been benefiting from it. So, of course, welcome. Last week on episode 183, the topic was Behind the Classroom, the Heart of a Teacher, where we had our guests, Mr. William Fullerton, Mrs. Shakia Pete, and Mrs. Shianda Maycock. They're all teachers in their respective, Mrs. Shianda Maycock is presently administrator now, but she was a teacher. But the other two are all teachers, are still teachers, present teachers that was talking about, the various challenges that teachers are facing in the classroom today. They shared ways that parents can help make teaching better for our teachers, and of course, helping children to know how to honor and respect teachers, administrators, and staff. We spoke about the importance of having male teachers on the premises of the school and so much more. And of course, even though I was joking around or playing around, but I honestly meant it. Like, it sounded as if I was playing around, but I meant it when I asked Mr. Fullerton what, is required to have, or what are the benefits of having a masculine figure. Okay, someone who isn't just, call a male, but someone who has that strong testosterone. I'm not going to play with you yet. I still love you, as a child, as a student, etc. I'm looking out for your good type male figure, if that makes sense. Because, anybody could just come and say, I could be a teacher who's a male, but then, they still don't have those certain attributes. I'm running out here. I'm sorry. But that's exactly what I meant. We want those masculine, God-fearing men back on the premises who still have that dominance to say, look here, get it together, son. Get it together, mom. And still be able to shine the light of Christ. And, of course, to show what it means to have that manly figure on the premises. So you have a lot of students who don't have that at home. All right. So that's what we were talking about last week. And of course, if you want to go ahead and if you're interested in hearing more about it, you can go to YouTube, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna. Once again, the episode is 183, Behind the Classroom, the Heart of the Teacher. Okay. Now, today's conversation is entitled More Than Grades, Raising Emotionally Healthy Children. Now, as parents, we want our children to succeed, right? We want them to complete their assignments, earn good grades, participate in extracurricular activities, and we want them to make us proud. But while we are paying attention to their academic performance, are we also paying attention to their mental and emotional well being? Dun, dun, dun. So, I want those who are tuning in today, parents, guardians, like anyone who's responsible for the upbringing of a child, to understand that children experience pressure too. Okay. However, many kids, they don't really express it, or they don't really explain how they feel, or some may not be able to explain how they feel. Therefore, we are going to go beyond the report card today, and we're going to discuss how parents can recognize when a child may be struggling. Of course, we're going to recognize if they are struggling academically, if they're struggling mentally, spiritually, etc. And we're going to talk about how to maintain that balance of, having the extracurricular activities, being able to perform at school, and of course, being able to do whatever chores, or, have social lives or whatever at home, chores at home, social lives, and in wherever you would find them to be a part of, like church, socials or whatever have you. So we want to know how they can balance that, and is it possible for them to do all of that? Because I have lots of stories. All right. That these children, mental health matters, their emotional well-being, all of that matters. And what also matters is the fact that you have some children who are going through it and don't know how to say it, or don't know how to express it, or perhaps would prefer not to express it. So we as parents have to see those various signs, like how can we tell? How can we pick up on what they may be going through? So that's basically what the topic is today. All right. And I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to have my guests on show. So, of course, I want you, for those who have children, or for those who are guardians, and of course, those who are teachers, to go to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM dial if you're on Facebook. If you have to come out the house, or if you have to come out wherever you are to go on the road, stay there, because that's where we can be heard. We can also be heard if you are home, channel 969 on cable. We're also on channel what's the channel? 612 on the BTC Flow channel. Okay, we're on the Guardian Radio app, and then we're on the Guardian Radio website, which is www.guardiantalkradio.com. Okay, and if you follow us on YouTube, you can go over to YouTube. For those who don't know, we are Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna on YouTube, and then on Facebook, Your Lane Life Coaching. So, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 184, More Than Grades, Raising Emotionally Healthy Children, is brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, the Children's Dream Journal. Now, the Children's Dream Journal helps children write and draw their dreams while teaching parents how to pay attention to what God may be revealing. It's intentional, it's fun, and it builds spiritual awareness early. So we want you to grab your copy today and start protecting your children's dream life on purpose. And the Children's Dream Journal can be bought at All Seasons Book and Gift Center in Palmdale or on Amazon. And coming soon, My Dream Journal for Teens. And My Dream Journal for Teens is also a faith-based book designed to help teenagers understand the importance of their dreams and become more aware of what they may be, or what may be happening while they sleep. Okay, so of course, go ahead. If you have children of your own, or grandchildren, godchildren, whoever, neighbors, go and invest in the Children's Dream Journal for them. Amazon or All Seasons Book and Gift Center, and we will let you know when My Dream Journal for Teens is out. And of course, you can go and get that there when that is ready. All right. We're also brought to you by Lysol, distributed by Thompson Trading, and Airwick, distributed by Thompson Trading. Brought to you by Commonwealth Bank and 242 Media Connect. Thank you all for sponsoring your Lane Talk Show. Now, I do have a question for the audience. The question is, what do you think affects children's mental health the most? Okay. My question for the audience is, what do you think affects children's mental health the most? Could it be A, academic pressure, B, bullying, C, social media, or D, problems at home? What do you think affects children's mental health the most? A, academic pressure, B, bullying, C, social media, or D, problems at home? And of course, you can text it at 422-GR96, whatever your answer may be. You can call us 1-242-323-6232, 325-4316, or 325-4259. And if you are following us on YouTube or Facebook, you can send in your input and post it there, all right, as well. Can't wait to hear your opinions on the matter. Now, let's introduce our speakers. All right, our speaker for today is Mrs. Nikita Moss-Woodside. She is a psychologist with a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology from the University of Georgia and a Master of Science degree in counseling from Barry University. Nikita has served as a school and mental health psychologist with the Ministry of Education for the past 23 years, focusing on learning and behavioral challenges, social, emotional development, and trauma. She's also the co-founder of Helping Hands Intervention Center, where she partners with parents and guardians to support children's holistic growth and development. Her commitment to supporting children affected by trauma also extends into the community through Camp Hope. Welcome once again, Nikita. I want the audience to know that Nikita was my very first, so one of my very first guests on your Lane Talk Show, because there was a panel of two of them. Episode 1. Nikita, you were on episode 1 of your Lane Talk Show, and you are back with us on episode 184. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
My pleasure.
Listen, so we do have a call. Okay, ask that person to wait for me. If we do. Okay. I have asked your Lane audience to share what they believe affects children's mental health the most. From your 23 years of experience, which of these concerns do you encounter most often? Is it A, academic pressure, bullying, social media, or problems at home?
Trish. So what we needed was all of the above.
Right? Yes.
What we needed was all of the
Yes.
above. All
Yes.
of those things significantly impact our children.
Yes.
Right? Because I may be dealing with something academically. My expectations are too high. I am becoming anxious. I am becoming withdrawn. I am becoming hypervigilant. I am becoming something that's impacting my mental health. Problems at home. We always say, oh, our children are so beautiful. They ought to be seen. They don't have nothing to worry about. I got them. They're straight. Yeah, whatever I'm going through, your children are going through. Whatever they're seeing and they're experiencing it, all of those things are impacting their mental health, right? And then when you said bullying becoming so prevalent, and we always have your safe spaces, you have your people that you can talk to. The challenge. Do they really see that? So I find that a lot of our children are trying to deal with these things by themselves, right? They don't want to burden mom. They don't want to seem like a problem. They're really trying to solve all of these things by themselves. Admirable, but need to be guided.
So, I mean, even in your time, like you said, it's all of the above, and I get that, right? But
Right.
which of these concerns do you encounter most often
Academic.
in your field?
In my field, it's the academic. School psychologist is the academic. And when our kids are struggling academically, because you have so many different types of learning disorder, then you have intellectual deficiency, and then I have to go into school and I have to perform. I'm not performing. I'm not performing. And I'm not going to say I need help. So I'm going to sit there, either become a clown or just become withdrawn. Something's going to happen. You're going to see the behavior changing. And it's because I'm not getting it. So when you come across Miss Woodside, you're going to be like, okay, Miss Woodside, what's going on with my baby? Okay. Executive functioning is causing her to not focus or complete tasks. Cognitive weaknesses is causing your child not to process this information
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Learning disorder, that's the one that I see the most.
I want to
academic
talk.
challenges.
I want us to share about the academic perspective a little later on, but I want us to start from the foundation in that, like, when we talk about an emotionally healthy child, what does that actually look like?
So we think that children are just basically should be happy all the time, right? When you see you have a toddler, and that's my area. I love the babies.
Mm-hmm.
When I can look at them and I can see them laugh, smile, cry, I said, okay, they're experiencing all of their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
When they recognize that if I fall, I know mommy or daddy have me, I'm safe. When they have their routine and they know their routine, security.
Mm-hmm.
The smallest thing creates mental well-being in our toddlers, the simplest thing, and we take it for granted every day that, oh, we don't have to do all of these things, but routine and structure is the most important in creating stability, mental health as well for our toddlers.
So
1 to 5.
right, okay, because I was
One
like, are we
to
moving
five.
up?
Let's
Go
get
ahead.
that. 1 to 5. Let's set that now. That's the foundational. So
Yeah.
as they get older, they're going to be able to express themselves more. They're going to be able to recognize different things more. They're going to be socially aware
Yeah.
because the security is there. They're going to know what is expected because the routine is being put in place, and they're going to be secure.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of kids who are just not secure. Insecurity is something that causes us to stop, become still, withdraw, lose ourselves. Children, do they understand that? Of course not. They don't understand that. But we as parents, we can recognize that. We as professionals, we can recognize that. Teachers, whoever they enter, what is going on? But something's going on. There's a change in her. There's a change in him. Let me see how long this is going to last. Wait, this is now impacting him or impacting her academically in the home. Then you have concerns.
So when you say this, so can you list some of the insecurities that a child between the ages of 1 and 5 may encounter?
So there's
what would be the cause of the insecurities, rather?
Well,
I know there are many, but if you can list perhaps the ones that you've come across, your time.
For me with the toddlers, what is most prevalent for me is time. Right? We are all busy. We don't have time to sit and engage in conversation, engage in play, engage in much of anything. We barely have less than down and have a dinner at our table.
Ooh.
So everything is fast track. We're always moving. That is creating no routine, no structure. That lack of structure is creating insecurities. We're expecting them to just know. We're not very clear in our communication. Don't do that. Why? Don't do what? We don't say, well, you're going to get burned if you touch the oven. Don't touch the oven. Why? So communication is a big thing for me, and that's why kids are not expressing themselves properly. They're not aware of the things that they're doing. They're not aware that it's a problem. They just know, don't do it. That's it. So that's a big thing for me. Routine is so important. Consistency is so important. Structure is so important, right? For me. Yeah.
So you went to the toddlers, you went through ages 1 to 5. So let's move on.
Okay. Let's move on. So when you think about your primary school students, that's grades 1 to 6, right? And what would be their biggest challenges? They want to be socially accepted. Right? So what is happening now is that we're recognizing that a lot of our children are presenting with neurodiversity, ADHD, autism, pragmatic, a lot, LDs. They're presenting with a lot of different challenges, and they want to be accepted by their peers. Yeah, I'm encountering a lot of kids right now in primary school who may have one friend. Is that really your friend, baby? Yeah, that's my friend. What do you do? Is she nice? They're not nice to each other.
Ooh.
but that's my friend, because we want to be socially accepted. That's very important for children, to be accepted, to be a part of something. You're a part of a family, but you also want to be a part of a group, your peers. So that's a big thing as well. And then there's a lot of, how do I say this? There's a lot of bullying, right? There's a lot of bullying that's going on. And do we see it as bullying? We're seeing at children being assertive or children being children. But when it's now starting to change that child who is the quote victim, then that's a problem, because it's now a lot of aggressive behaviors or behaviors directed towards them. And now what's going to happen to their mental health? I'm not good enough. Oh, I deserve this. There's a lot of things that can be going on there. Yeah.
So ages, we going up, Nikita, we going up. That's grades 1 to 6. Now let's go to at grade 7 to 7 to 9, junior high.
7 to 9. So for all of them from 0 to 17, 0 to 16, behavior is definitely a language. Right? So when you hit grade 7 and you hit your junior school, we're thinking that these are still children, but some of our children are little mini adults in their homes. And now you're in my classroom or you're in the front of Miss Woodside because we're doing a testing, but you are so disrespectful to me. Like, I never take it personal. It's not a personal issue because I don't know what's going on in your home. What's happening now is we see a lot of 7 to 9 year olds, seventh grade to 9th grade, 7 to 12th grade, to be honest, Trish. They're the adults of their home.
Yeah.
And here I come. Do what I say. You're not doing this. You're disrespecting me. It's not a personal issue for me because I don't know your home. For Miss Woodside, who is a school psychologist, mental health, what's driving this behavior? Because it all looks like disrespect. It looks like disrespect. What is driving this? That's what my hypothesis would be once I know what that is, because they're tired. They're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're going through a lot. So I take a child individually, even though they seem as if they're all doing the same thing, but you're an individual.
Yeah.
So I have to know what's driving your behavior, yours and yours alone. So that's what I'm seeing a lot of. It's a lot of disrespecting authority, not following the rules, not listening, not turning in the assignments. LD, ID, ADHD, executive functioning, pragmatics.
Now I know you're saying these terms: LD,
learning disorder, intellectual disability.
Now we speak in layman terms on here. We speak in layman terms just in case for those who are tuning in who may not understand.
Okay.
All right. So these are some of the issues that you face that come across your table or your chair, your office,
my desk,
right? Yes. When you deal with these children, and of course, what in your 23 years would have been the most common, I would say emotional, because I know you spoke about the behavioral and you spoke a little bit about the academic point of view or learning point, but what are some of the emotional challenges?
So for me, the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now is anger, right? Anger is a big thing. Anger is a strong language, and it's amazing. You're constantly learning. These kids are constantly teaching you, because I had a kid and said, Miss Woodside, it looks like anger, but I'm just sad. I'm just sad. So I'm like, you're sure? I said, because your behavior is just angry.
BPL will do it. BPL.
Do I continue?
We'll do it. I don't know. We're still live. Okay. So, for those who are tuning in, we got cut off.
Sorry.
But thank God that the Guardian has generator. So if you're tuning in via radio, continue to tune in with us. And I'm hoping that we would still be connected via YouTube and Facebook. I don't know. If you could help me with that, please, producer, to see if we're still connected on YouTube and Facebook. For those who are tuning in via YouTube and Facebook, can you please look at that?
Look at that.
Yeah, we came off. Let's try again. Let's continue the conversation as what we can do is take a break, because sorry? We'll continue to talk just a little bit, Mrs. Woodside, only because he's trying to connect the computers and everything because of
Okay.
the electricity outage. So can you continue?
Let's talk about those emotions though.
I almost showed some emotions just now. I have to come in your office tomorrow.
Look at that. You regulated that. You control that.
Yes,
so impressed.
yes, thank you.
But anger is prevalent though. Anger and sadness, right? I never want to say that my child or my kid, and I always call them my children,
Yes,
is depressed.
mm-hmm.
Because what I want them to understand is that you have a right to experience the emotions that you're feeling. You're good.
Yeah.
You have a right to experience that, but we're seeing a lot of anger and we're seeing a lot of sadness. And when we're starting to see a lot of those emotions, we have to be mindful. We have to pay attention to our children. Are they going to now withdraw, or are they clingy, or are they detached? We have to pay attention to those two emotions. And when you ask them, so what is the feeling that you're feeling right now? Those are the two common words: anger, sadness. Like, do you feel loved? I never get the love part. Do you feel happy? I'm good. So anger and sadness for me is the two ones that I am most concerned with. So I always want to make sure that they're okay. That they're okay, and then it's okay to experience whatever you are feeling.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to take a break because we do have some viewers on YouTube and Facebook who can't see Mrs. Woodside at the moment. I think she's going to have to log in, just like how I had to log in all over again. But, I thank God that we have a generator here so we can actually still hear how to conduct ourselves as parents, guardians, etc., for our children, and how to look out for their various, I guess, the way that they express themselves, and the lack thereof. Like you have some, like as Mrs. Woodside stated, children who withdraw, and they just remain quiet, and they you may think that they're shy, but they may be going through some things at home, etc. So we're gonna talk more about that right after this break. All right, let's go first.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Every day we're told how to work, worship, love, and live by systems that were never built for our flourishing. But underneath the noise, there's an older wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. Tune in September 6th. Kahun Uncle Sarah, that's right, yours truly, as Unplugged will be premiering Sunday at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. 90 minutes to remember who you are.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Your Lane Talk Show with your coach, Trish Hanna. We have with us the beautiful Mrs. Nikita Woodside. Hey. And she is a child psychologist, and she's talking to us about, behavioral challenges, what else? Learning challenges, etc., in our children that we can pick up as guardians, as adults, and to see how our children conduct themselves. We can pick up as teachers as well, especially for teachers, when a child distances themselves or try to become more secluded. In the classroom,
grades started to decline.
Right. So let's continue with that. What are some behavioral challenges that may indicate that a child is in distress or depressed?
Oh, withdrawal is the first thing, right? Or just becoming quiet, just always just there but not there.
Yeah.
Right. Then when you're looking at a child who's not interested in doing any of the activities they like doing before, or when you see the grades, like, wait, weren't you a 2.5 student? How did you get to a 1.5?
Yeah.
Pay attention to those type of things. Those type of things is a big indicator that something is going on with that child. Big indicator in the school. Big indicator, right? So even if I'm a 3.0 student and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm a 2.5, still great. But I'm a 3.0 student.
Yeah.
You say, what's going on? Because something is happening with me.
Yeah.
Either it's socially with my friends, either it's in my home, either it's personal where I'm not feeling great about myself. It's something. Do you need to talk? Can I direct me to guidance and counseling just for a check-in?
I love that.
Just for a check-in.
Let's take this call real quick because I want to know more. Your Lane Talk Show, good afternoon.
A pleasant good evening, madam. How you doing?
Well, thank you. How are you?
This voice might be popular, but have you ever noticed something? If you were talking politics today, you had all kind of callers.
Yeah.
If you were talking anything around PLP, FNM, John Canoe, all kind of things, you have all kind of callers. If you were talking about family problems and rape and sex and gun violence and everything, you have all kind of callers. Now you come on with your nice little self with the talk show host, you got a chance to come and talk religion. A nice thing, this ain't nobody calling you, right?
That's all right, though. I would prefer that they listen, because what happens is, it interrupts our guests. We want to make sure to get everything out the way, which is fine. When you call in and you call in with a question for the guest, that's wonderful. But just to call in.
What I'm saying is, they driving around, they listening, but they don't have no reason to call in because we talking religion.
Okay.
And behemoths don't want to talk religion because they feel like they're committing a sin.
Okay.
If I call and I say, let's talk about planting food, they might listen. But boy, if I say, Brave Davis doing this and the F&M doing that, you will get all kind of callers today.
Guess what? I doubt you'll ever hear Your Lane Talk Show while I'm still alive talking politics, because we don't really do that.
Thank you very much for calling in and trying to tell you. But people listening, but they ain't interested in what you're talking about, because we ain't no Christian country. We corrupt.
No, man. And guess what? This is where, respectfully, I am going to hang up, because I'm on Your Lane Talk Show. We are not going to declare on the airwaves that this country is corrupt. And even if it may seem that way, we declare the positive and not the negative on Your Lane Talk Show, which is the reason why I don't have people calling in to complain, which is the reason why I avoid certain topics, because of that negative spirit of calling in and complaining. And I come against that in the name of Jesus. This is a blessed country. Whether you may see it, however you see it in the natural, that has nothing to do with what God is doing and is about to do with this country. Let's remain positive, okay? That's what we're doing, and that's what the show is about. Now, let's continue our conversation. If you're going to call Your Lane Talk Show, to be honest with you, I really don't care if you don't call in. All right? What matters is that you listen to the guests that we do have, and you receive what belongs to you. You eat the meat, and you spit out the bones. The purpose of the show is to educate, encourage, and empower men and women Okay? So if you don't call up, you call. If you don't want to listen, you don't want to, whatever it is, whoever's listening, it only takes one person to be an impact.
Indeed.
One person. And so for my parents who are tuning in, for the guardians, for the teachers who are tuning in at this very moment, thank you. And I pray that what Mrs. Woodside says today will create an impact for you, will cause you to open your eyes and to be more vigilant to the students and the parents, the students and the children at large, so that we can help them. That's what the show is about. Back to you, Mrs. Woodside.
I listened to your show last week, and one thing that came and stood out with me, I love the fact that one of your teachers does a lot of SEL, social emotional learning stuff. But collaboration and partnership is so important in ensuring that we touch and support our children. It is more than just me teaching academics. It's more than me just doing a testing to determine the learning challenge or the disability. It's more than me just doing therapy. Each one of us play a role in these children's life. Each and every one of us play a role. And we have to be vigilant. I love the fact that you used that word. We have to be vigilant, because when you know and you recognize certain things about me and you see that it's changing and it's changing for a minute, like what's going on? It's an indicator. It's an indicator. I may be at the beginning of depression. You can save me. You can start to help me. You can start to support me. Refer me to the right resource. Let guidance and counseling get in there. And if guidance and counseling isn't able to do it, then refer, right? So it's very important. I want everyone to always, please remember, we like to say that our children are rude. Please think about what's going on in that child's life. I don't know all of the children in our country, but behavior is a language. It's definitely a language, right? Yes, we spoil our children, and yes, some of them are too entitled. And this when we set boundaries, right? Because our kids now, we have to think about their mental well-being. When you start putting all of those things in place, we are preparing our children to solve problems. They are guided. They are supported. We are teaching them, right? You could be angry, baby, but you can't hit me.
That part.
Yeah.
You can cry.
Validate that feeling.
Yeah.
But here's what's not going to happen. We don't hit people. We don't hurt people. Right? So every family have their own morals, values, beliefs. Make sure your children know it.
And I use the term, as I said, we had a show a few weeks ago with fathers, and the males that were on the show indicated that their fathers, one or two of them, not all of them, one or two stated that their fathers would tell them not to cry. I want the audience and those who are tuning in to know that you can allow your children to cry. That's a part of expression. Can you elaborate?
Expression is such a big thing. I know, especially for our boys, you are not allowed. See, I'm sorry. You're not allowed to cry. You're a boy. You're supposed to be tough. Toughen up. No, you're entitled to your emotion. Crying is an outlet. It's an outlet for everybody. If you don't want anyone to see you cry, go in the shower. Let those tears flow. Do not teach our children to keep things in. When we start layering and layering and layering and layering, we're causing our children to break. It becomes heavy. It's a burden, right? So let it out. Then let me help you solve that. I don't want to fix it. I want to teach. We need to teach our children to resolve and cope. Develop their coping skills. Once you finish with that, mommy's going to be right here. Let's figure out how we're going to do this.
Mommy and daddy. Mommy, daddy, and teacher. You have some phenomenal teachers. You have a whole village of phenomenal teachers out there.
Sometimes the teacher is the best part of a student's day. The best part of their day.
So other than, of course, you said, anger shows up sometimes.
Sadness.
What about things like laziness,
procrastination,
lack of motivation?
When I see those type of things, I don't really get referrals for they're not motivated or they're lazy. What I see is they're inattentive, they're not focused. Flip coin, right? The flip coin. So when I start to do my assessment, I'm like, okay, this looks like ADHD, inattentive type, or maybe it's just executive functioning, whereas they're not completing the task. It's actually a neurological thing. You put things in place. What is very important, everybody, what is very important is we put things in place to address academically. So the same way we do that, we put things in place to address mentally, emotionally. I believe in emotional behavior, right?
Yeah.
Once you teach SEL skills from grade 1 to grade 12, your children are going to be actually good citizens who is socially aware, self-aware, responsible, community-driven people.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Holistic. Yeah.
Right? We need that. We don't take the time to, I'm going to say it again, check in on those emotions. And if we want to teach the vocabulary, teach the emotional vocabulary, please. Besides mad, angry, sad, I feel frustrated. I was frustrated when BPL just turned off that. Frustrated. That's my word. I'm not mad with them. It frustrated me.
Yes.
Right? I'm unable to resolve that. I felt excited. I felt a little wary. Teach them emotional vocabulary. It's important because not every emotion is anger. Not every emotion is sadness.
I love that.
Right? So that's very important.
So let's talk about the school environment as far as being bullied. Although not only in school, you do have the extracurricular activities, the swimming, track, basketball, etc., where that can be found as well. So my question is, what are some warning signs that your child may be experiencing bullying?
Okay. So there's such a thing as psychosomatic symptoms. Mommy, my stomach hurting. I can't go to school today. Loss of appetite. Always crying or worried or frustrated to go to school. Pay attention to that. Wait, didn't I just give you lunch money? Why are you not eating? Find out if their money's getting taken. They're always the clue. If you're having conversations in the car with your children, you will know what's going on. So who did you play with today? Who did you talk to today? What happened today? Dig. What was the best part of the day? Did you eat? Why didn't you? How much money? Did you bring the money back? Where did you spend the money? Did you give it to somebody? Did somebody take it? Find out. And it's just we're not drilling or interrogating. We're not doing that. We're not going to row. We're not going to row. We're not going to lecture. We're just going to talk. So baby, why didn't you eat? Right. And especially if it has been 5 days, baby, is someone taking your money? What's going to happen? What you're going to recognize when you find that someone is always constantly approaching your child and making your child feel not great, they're not going to want you to come in. But as a parent, you want to be the superhero. Right. I want to go in. What are you doing? This is what's happening with my child, but we have to be mindful. What do you want us to do, baby? How do you want us to deal with this? We're going to empower our children to solve the problem.
I like that. Let me pause you for a second, because you do have like high school kids who, if they were to tell their parents, because at that age, I think the children would know how their parents would react should they, be bullied or the victim of anything at school. So of course, I'm not going to tell on myself today, but no, in certain instances, I'm glad that you said that, hey, let's talk to your child first to find out how you want to deal with the issue. Because you do have some parents, in fact, we'll be talking about that next week, Sunday, God's willing. You do have some parents who may be, and I've seen some on social media who may take matters or try to take matters into their own hands, or try to, get everyone involved and, bring them in the office. And then after that, oh man.
The mat.
But we're still on air. Okay, y'all. Yeah. BPL done it again. So I think we have to do the logging in for YouTube and Facebook.
Wait, I gotta go back.
But anyway, back to what I was saying, right, Mrs. Woodside. I even forgot what I was saying. But
You do see people who want to take matters.
They want to take matters into their own hands, and so you want to be able to speak to it. You have to use common sense too. You have to use your discretion as well, because certain things you have to nip at the bud. You have to be present, as a parent to deal with the matter. And then some cases you can say, okay, well, let me just speak to this teacher and allow the teacher to be the mediator in this particular instance. So let's talk more about that as we try to upload our social media platforms. Go ahead.
Okay, so what is very important is that we empower. Of course, you know that you are your child's biggest advocate, protector, security, safety net, right? So one of the age level, she said the high schoolers, how do you want us to address this? Have the real conversation. What are the steps that we can take? How are you going to cope with this? We're going to give our kids an opportunity to what? Present it to the guidance counselor, administrator. If certain things doesn't work, that's when you come in. You empower your children. And it doesn't even have to be bullying. It's about anything, because even if they feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work that they're receiving from school, because that's anxiety, you actually provide, okay, baby, I see that you look as if you're overwhelmed or worried about something. What can we do to help you feel less overwhelmed? How could we create a feasible and doable schedule, right? And then help them, you have to work it. So we talked about it, you put it in place, then you come back, you check back in. So baby, how is that working for you? You empowered your child. What is important is that you empower your child to become adults. What are you teaching them? Problem solving, good coping skills, because they're going to be frustrated. They're going to experience a lot of emotions. So that is key.
Yeah, I love that. Empower them and be able to help them break down their various schedules and stuff. Because as we know, especially for those coming from primary school into, junior high, it's different. It's going to be completely different. There is a tendency of, that overwhelm, because you have to now navigate on your own, in some instances being a little bit more independent than you were before. And so for that collaboration with the parent and the teacher, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's key so that you can help them transition without having to be so overwhelmed and then just automatically shut down.
Yes.
We don't want that.
Yes. And I want us to pay attention to the fact as well is that just because my student or my kid is a honor roll student or doing very well, that doesn't mean they're not overwhelmed. So you please always check in with your child. Always check in every day. Have the conversations. Check in. Because even in my being overwhelmed that I'm in an honors class, my mind is just crowded and overwhelmed. I can't sort it out. Help me, mommy. Help me.
Let's talk about
pay
that.
attention.
Let's talk about the pressure that we as parents
put on
our children academically.
Yeah.
And I say in our expectations, because I had to learn the hard way too, by the way, our expectations of them, yet still being mindful of the fact that they have emotions too. They have these various feelings too. Like we've been using the term overwhelm quite a lot.
Yeah.
Fatigue, all these various things that they have to live up to being a kid. Yeah. So talk to us about that. How can we pull back? What are some things, what are some practical ways that we can pull back and allow them to still enjoy, their teenage lives, primary school lives, etc.?
And FYI, I want y'all to know that always sleeping is a form of withdrawal too. Okay. So let's pay attention to that as well. But when realistically, we do put expectations. It is necessary to put expectations on your child. Now, here's the challenge. We need to put realistic expectations on our child. If I know my child has a learning disorder, I cannot say I need you to get an A. Imagine the pressure that I'm putting on that child. Layer. You're not getting an A. You're not getting an A. You're not doing it. You're just being lazy. You did that. But mommy, you just got me tested. You know that I have an LD. I need support. Set my bar at a C. Incrementally bring me up, mommy. You know I have a weakness. We all have weaknesses. We have to incrementally bring up their weaknesses. You have to pay attention. Realistic expectation. Have the conversation again. Here we go talking again.
Mhm.
Mommy, I can't do basketball,
Mm.
track, tennis, BJC classes, and go to class. I am drowning. They're never gonna say it. So what is your role? Pay attention.
Mm.
Why is she looking so tired? Why is she so listless? Why is she not talking much? Why is she pay attention? Because that's happening a lot. We have a lot of pressure. Teacher has expectations.
Yeah.
Mommy have
The
expectations.
coaches have
Daddy have
expectations. Mm-hmm.
The world has expectations.
Mhm.
And yeah, they're children. So how are they managing it if we're not teaching them how to manage that? We have to support them. And in supporting them, you are ensuring that they are emotionally well. That is important to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Realistic expectations, let's bring them up incrementally. Keep them emotionally well. Language is a big thing. I'm sorry. Let's stop being condescending.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking down to them. They have a voice. They have a voice. When they are not talking, it's because we've shut them down too much. Can we stop that?
Come on.
Let them speak. We don't have to agree, but we can hear.
And can we just do away with because I said so? So if they do ask why, you don't feel as if they're being disrespectful. I know back in the days when I was younger, I asked why my lip might be on the next side of town. My face on one side and my lip on the other side.
No, it's because
you
I
understand what I'm
said so.
saying? Because I said so. You don't ask me why. I'm the parent. Da, da, da. No. Can we do away with that and allow them respectfully to say,
Respectfully.
right? You know, they want to know.
Respectfully.
They're curious. They're inquisitive.
Yes.
They want to know why.
Yes. And what are we teaching them? Effective communication. We model it. We model who we want our children to be. And that's just the bottom line. If you can't express yourself, then I'm never going to speak. I'm going to be a whole 90-year-old man, not ever telling you, I didn't like what you did to me and said to me. Because I wasn't allowed to express myself. Expressing ourselves looks like disrespect. The question is how you do it. Now, babies, you can say whatever you want to say, but it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that is the key. Parents, let's teach them to speak respectfully. And we don't have to agree with what they say, but we can hear what they say because those things are key in us knowing our children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We don't want to shut them down.
All right, so let's talk about then, because we're still in school. So, what does a healthy school life balance look like for children when it comes to like the academics, the homework, the extracurricular activities, the family time, rest, play, and how can parents recognize when their child has too much on their plate? I had the opportunity, before you answer that question, to be a judge on a panel of other judges for some children, call them kids, young adults rather, who wanted to participate in a what's the word I want to use, financial aid, right? And in that we had an opportunity to interview them. And we saw where within the interview there are some requirements. We had to look at, their report cards, all these other academic things, this look at their extracurricular activities. And there were a few of them who had about a paragraph of things that they were part of: key club, track, choir, the dance ministry, all these various things. And, trying to maintain their grades. And there was one individual in particular who said that she literally crashed out, like she crashed. She had to pick us up. She was the head girl of the school as well. She said it was too much pressure.
So, but what's happening though, the world has changed so much. Their competition now is beyond crazy. Like what I would have been able to do and get what I've achieved is nothing compared to what they have to do. They have to take part in so many things to make themselves competitive globally. And with all of those things being done, it's very difficult to balance it. Very difficult. It's really literally going to be up to the parent to say, you know what, this is too much. Here's what we're going to do. What is the priority? We can have the conversation where as you prioritize what is most needed, what is most important to get you to where you need to be. You don't have to do everything. You don't need key club. Okay. So if you want to be a doctor, what are the clubs that are most important for you right now for your CV or your high school diploma to get into college? What are the things that would be beneficial?
Right.
Everything is, why are you doing track? Are you doing track to get a scholarship? So we have these conversations. So let's pull back from the key club. Let's pull back on a few things because it's too much, baby. You're wearing yourself thin. We have to have the honest conversation. We as adults, we are constantly moving, constantly going. We're tired, right? So we're taking all of our children to all of these different places. They're tired, but they're not going to say, Mommy, I don't want to do it. So we have to have the honest conversation. What is the most important thing right now? What is the most important thing for from our first grade to our sixth graders right now? Play, and you should join the sports. You should be a part of an extracurricular socially. So you could, so that you can create friends outside of school.
Yeah.
Socially. And it's not so stringent and so difficult. Make it enjoyable. My coach, one of my coaches for track, he always said, they're young. Let them enjoy track. Stop putting so much pressure on them. Just let them run. Still learning the foundation, still learning the developmental stuff, but they're kids. Let them run. When hit grade 7, it increases.
Yeah.
It changes.
The workload.
Right? So let's balance it based on their age, their grade, and what they want to do. We honestly.
How school is starting now. All of the different extracurricular activities are starting tomorrow. What are your thoughts on kids where a parent may feel as if this child is doing phenomenal in a particular extracurricular activity, however the child does not want to continue with it?
So we're back to communication, right? Communication is key for everything. Why don't you want to do it? So honestly, let's hear what's going on. And obviously this child is an overachiever because you're doing so well. You're doing well, but you don't want to do it. Are you doing it because mommy wants you to do it? Daddy wants you to do it? We have to have the conversation. We don't talk to our children. We talk at our children. And this is what you're going to do because I'm mom.
But now let me explain something. And the reason why I say this
to me.
No, for true, because the reason why I'm saying this is because I think, I know when I was younger, I was in basically everything. And I was just trying it out just to see how it is. And my mom was getting frustrated because
she was tired.
She's tired all over the place. And buying all these various things, and then they don't want to do it anymore. But one thing I regret then is the fact that I didn't continue with dance, ballet. However, I realized in my teens or so that ballet and dance was something that I used as ministry at church. So it's like I had to go from my teenager years back into it where I could have been doing that from when I was younger. She had me in there from when I was like 4 or 5. Okay. I mean, before even putting me in dance, I was already walking on my toes and stuff like that. I loved it. It was a passion. But for some unknown reason, I didn't want to continue it. There was no real reason. I probably just was, just saying it to do no hard work. I don't know. But in this situation where a parent may see the potential of the child continuing with it and the child may not see it then, you don't want to force it on the child. But should you, as a parent, you seeing the benefits from it later on? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Here's my thoughts. Here's my thought. Because I would say I'll self-disclose. So my kids are going to be mad. But anyway, my son, basketball and track. I'm a track mom. I love track. So you're going to be in track because I love track. Loves basketball. I don't want you in basketball. I don't want you to do basketball. So the compromise was, let's try it. If you do well that first day, then fine. We're going to try to figure out the schedule. But you can't quit track because I like track, right? So I didn't see that. He did well. But With track, I'm like, it impacted it so much. And here's where I went wrong, because his passion is basketball, but my passion is track. But where is he? Track. He made the decision himself. So I had the real conversation. Do you want to continue basketball? I say, you are now in grade 9, going in grade 10. We're going to head to college in a few years. Let's talk about whether basketball could get you a scholarship. We know definitely you can probably get a scholarship with your track, with your running, because it's not so saturated. Yeah. I said, let's be honest. You want to go to college? You're going to need a scholarship. Can you get this basketball scholarship? He made the decision. I'm going to stop basketball. So it was a hard conversation. It was long because he loves basketball, but he wants to go to college. So he thought about tomorrow.
The long term.
Yeah. But here's the pressure. Mommy likes track. Mommy wants you to go to college. Is mommy really pushing this on you? Is this something you really want to do? The thing about their lives, it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
So they're living for us, and then they're trying to live for themselves. Yeah. And the balance is very, very difficult. And we can see when they are tired, right? Because we know they're doing all this stuff, like you with the dance, but you were tired. Maybe that's why you wanted to stop. And she did what you wanted at that moment, trying to do what was best for you at that moment. She didn't think about way down.
Long term.
No. She was trying to do what was best.
Because that's my question. Doing that. Should we as parents be doing that?
We need to do that. But we need to set the boundaries a little, whereas it's not all over. Because it's fine to explore, but which one are you going to stick to? We're going to empower them again. Which one do you want to do? Now, don't come to mommy 20 years later and say, mommy, you didn't. You said that you wanted to do track because you want to go to college. You want to see if you can get the track scholarship. That ain't on mommy. I empowered you.
So let me tell on myself then, because I said, well, since you did it, I might as well do it too.
It's self-disclosure. Okay? Self-disclosure.
So my youngest is extremely well in swimming. You know, she made the nationals, and she's only been swimming. She started swimming at I think age 5 or so, and she stopped for a while. And then she started again, and within that 1 year, she made nationals. Some people have been swimming for a little while and still didn't make it, but she made it. Okay. Man, I didn't buy all the stuff, all the paraphernalia. I get shirts. She got all kind of uniforms. These uniforms ain't no $2. Okay. Getting these uniforms so when they travel and stuff, they have things to wear. Sports meets, etc. And you know, she laid it on me this weekend. In fact, she said it earlier, but of course I was tuning out. I was like, well, you just need a break, so you're gonna take a summer break, and it starts again tomorrow. And so she's like, no, mom, I don't want to continue.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I actually came here on this show to ask you what to do.
I'm hoping you have this conversation. So let's weigh these pros and cons. Tell me what's really going on. Why don't you want to do it anymore?
But her reason, because I did ask, her reason is she just don't want to, because she says it's just too much. What too much? You don't have anything. You're not doing anything.
Here we go. Okay. We as parents, we always say you're not doing anything. You don't have nothing to work.
She's 8.
Yes, she's 8, but she has school, and she still has expectations as a daughter. She still has to go home and do homework. She has extracurricular activities. She has chores. She has this.
I'm being real with you.
But you can't say that. We can't invalidate those feelings and
I'm
thoughts.
not going to invalidate it. My thing is, I'm looking at the long term because I see how successful she is. I see how, you know, she's very talented in that area. I don't have an issue. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I used to complain about these Saturday meets. Okay, that's fine. But I can do that because I see where it's benefiting her. You know, in the long term, that's what I'm looking at. But I'm going to step back maybe this semester because I thought the summer was going to give her sufficient time to decide if she wants to continue or not. But I'm going to step back this semester and then, or this term, and see revisit how it goes and allow her to do whatever she wants to do. Like, you know, maybe it's dance, maybe it's gymnastics. I don't know. We'll allow her to do that. And then I'll come back to it and revisit and go from there. All right.
We have to listen, and we know, and that's the scary thing as a parent, because you just always want what's best for your child.
Well, shouldn't you want what's best for your child?
Oh, wait.
You gotta want what's best for your child. 'Cause
Everybody should want what's best for their child.
let me tell you why I said
Is that the reality of life?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But here's the thing, and I use this, and this may not be the right term. Anyway, I'll just say it anyway. The Bible says that foolishness resides in the heart of a child, right?
Mhm.
And my interpretation or my what I perceive it mean is that, hey, children are going to make silly mistakes. They're going to make unwise decisions. They're going to feel like doing this one day and then turn around and do something else the next day, right? And as parents, and we are stewards of our children, we, once again, let's go back to this term, see the benefits of it in the long term. And it's not like you're forcing them, but you're guiding. I like that term. You're guiding them along the way that, hey, even though you don't want to do this, I'm gonna no, see, I don't want, and it sounds bad, but
So here's the compromise.
You understand what I'm saying, though? But so I'm not going to force her.
But you
then
take
I
a
do
break.
See where, so I would let her take a break, and then we'll revisit.
So that's a good compromise.
Okay, that's
because you're not invalidating her feelings. You're not invalidating what she wants to do, right? You had the conversation with her. Yay, kudos. And you're going to revisit. So it's a good compromise. I think our country, let me don't say that. I apologize. But I think a lot of us adults, we think because we listen to our children, process what our children say, and then try to figure out the best solution, it's compromising. It's not compromising. It's teaching our children to learn how to compromise and shift. Let me just shift.
Yeah.
Right? We have to teach them that. And it's okay for us to do that as adults. We can't just shut them down all the time.
Right.
Right? So that's what you did. I'm proud of you. Very good. You're revisiting it.
Okay. That's good. I feel a little better. I feel a little better. All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Woodside, for that. So what are some routines? Can you use the term routine? You use the term routine. What are some routines and practices that parents can establish before and during the school year to support their children's mental health? And then, of course, that includes, sleep time. That includes screen time. Emotional check-ins, family time, and all the other things that we shared.
So there's a few acronyms or words that I want you to pay attention to. When you're thinking about going back to school now, we're going to reset, right? Okay. So we're going to break that down. So the R is we are going to reestablish our sleep schedule because we know we had that nice long break. Then we go to bed 1 o'clock and
2,
stuff.
3 o'clock.
So we're going to establish that sleep schedule. The E is establish morning and evening routine. Get up and make the breakfast or whatever the evening routine is. Set the routine, right? So the S is realistic expectations. Set those. Please don't put unrealistic expectations on our children. Let's not overwhelm them. Let's work with them to empower them a little more. So let's set realistic expectation. And E is we're going to encourage conversations. I love the check-ins. Check in with your children. Have conversations with your children. Okay. And then the T is talk positively. Let's affirm them. Yeah, they're going to get on your nerve. They're going to make you angry. That's okay. We don't speak in anger. That's when we pause, breathe, then speak. Tap, tap, tap. I'm frustrated. Let me tap, 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 tap. Smile, and then respond. Okay. So reset for our children, okay? And listen attentively to them. Listen, pay attention to the behaviors. Please pay attention to your children's behaviors. You know your children. Miss Woodside don't know the children. Miss Hanna doesn't know the children. You know your child. You know what they're capable of doing. You know how they typically are. Pay attention. You will know if something is going on in any way, emotionally, mentally, anyway, academically, you will know if you pay attention to your child. Okay. Listen, not shut them down. If they're getting loud, you'll be like, okay, baby, when you're ready to talk with your inside voice, we can do this again. Get up and walk out. Come to me when you're ready. Because we're going to teach respect. We're going to teach what it looks like. Because the biggest thing is disrespect in the school.
Yeah.
Because we want you to tell the teacher that I don't understand. I don't want you to scream at the teacher. I don't understand it. Leave me alone. However, whatever the comments are that we make in this new generation, we're going to be mindful of our words. Okay. And let's model. Please model who we want them to be. Model how we problem solve. Model how we get through difficult times. Model how we love. Model the behavior for your children. Key, right? Security, mental well-being. Model it.
I love that. I love that. Modeling is so important, especially when you have younger children, because as you know, they are sponges. You know, they do what
Mm-hmm.
they see you doing. Sometimes they may
Mm-hmm.
not do what you say, but they can do what they see you doing. And so even the way that you respond to administration, their teachers, be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're saying about your teacher in their presence
Yeah.
or about anyone in their presence. All right, of course. We didn't have a chance to talk about that last week, but we know teachers get to hear all y'all business. I have y'all to know, parents, because I used to teach back in the days, so a little, substitute, doing a little something,
Yeah.
helping out,
Mhm.
and I used to hear all the business, everything. Who get it?
Mhm.
Anyway, I know we are pressed for time, but I want to share. I want to talk about this real quick. Let's talk
Okay.
about the home. All
Okay.
right, the issues that occur in the home that usually comes out when when they're at school, and that would be parental issues, the husband and wife arguing. And let's talk about the effects and the impacts of that when there is abuse in the home, with perhaps the children seeing the parents, or divorce. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So trauma has a lot of faces, okay, everybody. Trauma is not just me having a car accident or a plane crash or a boat accident. Trauma looks like divorce. Trauma looks like me witnessing abuse. Trauma looks like me witnessing murder. Trauma has a lot of faces. What's happening with our children is now they are exposed to so much in the home. The cursing, the profanity, that has an impact on our children. That's teaching them how to communicate with us. The hitting, when we see our children in the schools and they can't solve a problem and they resort to fighting, what's going on? Why are you always resorting to hitting? Raise question mark, hypothesis. Something's going on for me. Something's going on for me. The divorce, I miss my dad. I miss my mom. Who am I not seeing? I'm always crying. I'm clingy. I'm whining. All of those things impact your children in the school. Okay. You're going to see decline in grades. You're going to see withdrawal. You're going to see loss of appetite. You're going to see quietness. You're just going to see your child, but your child is going to be like, I'm okay. Or your child who's constantly watching you to make sure that you're safe. Okay. That's a concern as well. When you see a child, if you go to the bathroom and your child breaks down, your child is overtouched. Something's going on. Your child is scared. Let's pay attention to those little things. Pay attention to those things. And of course, those things happen normally. But if you see it's like drastic, that's when your question mark goes in your brain and you're like, I need to just have a conversation with somebody to make sure she's going or he's okay. I would always say, I believe children should do their well visits all the time. When you speak with your doctor, and do the well visit during their birthday, especially if you have 2 children or more. During their birthday, that's your well visit. You have conversations with your pediatrician. Pediatrician 1 to 18. Have the conversations. This is what I'm seeing. They're going to refer you to the right place. Right? And if you're not doing the well visits, then just check in with your guidance counselor. Know your teacher. How is Woodside doing? You don't have to share that you're concerned that I'm not eating or I'm not sleeping. You just want to know, how is she in the classroom? Pay attention to those things because trauma impacts your children. Divorce, abuse, the constant cursing and profanity, the talking negatively and badly about people in the front of your children, all of those things impact who our children become. So let's please just be a little more mindful about the things that we're doing in the front of our children. They are sponges. Yeah. And their mental health is important. And their emotional well-being is the most important thing right now. The most important thing. Okay. So let's be mindful. And that's the word I'm going to use. Just mindful, because you're human and we get frustrated. So let's just be mindful of those things. Please, 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 please.
And so even for guardians and teachers and parents alike, if they, see that or hear that a child talks about self-harm, suicide, feeling hopeless or not wanting to live, When should a parent or teacher seek, the professional help in that reference?
Right away. So you put in that referral directly to guidance, who would send that directly to school psychological services, or you send that directly to you triage with the school nurse at your school, and you send that child directly to accident and emergency, right? Suicide ideation is a big deal right now. Mm-hmm. So let's pay attention, especially if they say you typically hear it from their friends, what's happening. So let's not take it for granted. Let's not take that for granted. Let's listen. Let's do the work. Even if it happens to be nothing, let's just do it. Refer the child to the right place, please. Guidance, school nurse, accident and emergency, or school psych. Because sometimes we just need therapy. We need to help them cope, develop good coping skills. We just need to be a safe space, quotation mark, for them to just process some stuff. All right. So, but self-harm is, that's a big indicator that we need to start therapy.
But do you find that is a common thing here in our country?
It's becoming a little more prevalent.
Wow.
So we have to be mindful of that. And that's why I so believe in well visits. Every child should do their well visit, because the doctor is going to examine you. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing, because you don't see some of the things that's going on. So we got to be mindful.
Wow. Well, and in closing, I just want you to share anything that we may not have covered during this time. Is there anything in particular, anything on your heart that you would want the listeners to know from your perspective of being a child psychologist? You've seen, you've had people at your desk, at your table, in your office. You hear the stories. You're in the trenches. So I want you to share with us some things that we may not have covered that parents and guardians, teachers alike, should be aware of.
Okay, this is for parents and teachers. Ms. Woodside is a very big advocate for children, really big. But I strongly believe that I think my parents and sometimes teachers forgetting how impactful and meaningful they are to our children. And I love journeying with you to help our children become whole and well. But I want you to know that you have, especially my parents, you have everything inside of you to contribute to your child becoming who they're supposed to be. You have everything inside of you to lift your child up when your child is falling. You are their biggest supporter. You are their biggest advocate. I know you are tired. You're not alone. You have support. And I strongly believe in you. I strongly believe in you. And you're not always going to get it right. It's okay. Don't give up. Okay? Don't give up.
I love that. Don't give up. But I want to add to that, Mrs. Woodside. I want to add to the fact that, just to remind parents too that their children are more than their grades, hence the topic of today's show. Yes, academics are important. We should encourage our children to do their best. And yes, that's something that we should do as parents. We should encourage them and motivate them. However, we must be careful not to place too much pressure. I think the premise of the show is ensuring that we don't pressure our children to the point of overwhelm, to the point of wanting to do self-harm or, committing, wanting to unalive themselves, etc. To the point where they become afraid to make mistakes, to the point where they're afraid to disappoint us. We get that all the time. My mommy could kill me. Yes. I got this B. My mommy's going to kill me. I hear it all the time.
Yes.
All right. To the point where they are afraid to admit when they are struggling. It shouldn't be to that point.
Yes.
We shouldn't have to. We should always be that safe space for our children. Sometimes we focus so much on their homework and their assignments and their test scores, their report cards and all these different things. And then we overlook that our children are saying something without necessarily saying something.
Like
we're overlooking their subtle behaviors and a change in their attitude, as you've stated, the change in their appetite. you listed off. You said their sleeping habits. Yes, their friendships, their lack of desire to even want to come to school.
Yes.
We look at those things. A child who suddenly becomes quiet, you said, or angry. You used the term withdrawn. When they withdraw themselves, or they're unmotivated, or just disobedient.
Yes.
And all of these are indicators that something may be going on. And they may be feeling overwhelmed or feeling anxious. They may be getting bullied.
Or they may just be experiencing everything you're experiencing.
The emotional distress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to be mindful, we want to pay attention. We want to be able to, as Mrs. Woodside said, ask the questions every day, the check-ins. And I love how Mrs. Pete stated she does that every morning as a teacher,
learning.
Right? And so we should do that too as parents. And for those who guardians and teachers who are tuning in, every single day, get an opportunity to check in with your student or with your child. Did you finish your homework? What grade did you get? You don't have to ask that all the time. Instead, you can ask questions like, how was your day? What was the best part of your day? Did anything happen that made you feel uncomfortable?
Who you hung up with today?
Who are your friends? Who did you hang out with today?
Mm-hmm.
What was that about? What did y'all talk about?
Mm-hmm.
How are things going on with math? Because maybe they were talking, you could see their grades were struggling a little bit.
I see you struggling.
Yes,
I'm going to find some support.
Exactly. Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Yes.
And be ready and prepared to hear some of the hard things.
Yes.
Because especially as teenagers, ask me how I know. When you have preteens and teenagers in your environment and you ask them to tell you about how am I parenting you? Am I, and you ask them these questions, you better bite your lip because they can tell you. You understand? So be prepared for that. Be prepared to hear the truth. Be prepared to have the mirror in front of your eyes or your face as a parent and allow them to speak respectfully, to share their views and how they feel of what you're doing.
Yes,
right?
Without judgment, without bad. Thank you.
We don't have to be lecturing them all the time, judging them all the time, dismissing their feelings.
Yes.
We don't need that.
No.
All right. Our children need to know that home is a safe place and that they can come to us even when their grades are not perfect or when something has gone wrong. Encourage excellence, but pay attention to the whole child.
The whole child.
Their mental and emotional and spiritual well-being, right, matters more than any grade or any report card.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so we are going to close now your lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 184, More Than Grades, Raising Emotionally Healthy Children. It's brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Your Lane Life Coaching, the Children's Dream Journal, Lysol, and Airwick, who are both distributed by Thompson Trading, Commonwealth Bank, and 242 Media Connect. Next week, Mrs. Woodside, our topic is protecting our children, understanding school safety, drugs, and prevention. Okay, that is needed. I
love your connection.
Yeah,
this is building on.
Absolutely. We do have, believe it or not, you're going to hear from these wonderful school resource officers that you have children that bring drugs to school.
Mm-hmm.
They bring, these brownies, cookies, these edibles, these gummies, etc. that seem, to be fun to want to eat because everybody else is eating it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to talk about the safety. Why should we teach our children to leave certain things at home to prevent things from happening, like the cell phones and that? Oh, that's a touchy one. Like these electronics that are, you can't be bringing these to school and then flossing them all over the place and expect. And I'm not saying that it's your fault that someone's going to come and they should, you should be able to teach your children how to have the respect of other people's property. But you have some people who don't have parents who do that. So bringing electronics to school and all these other things and wondering why, okay, these things are being taken from me. All right, from not just the students, and you get them confiscated from the teachers as well, administrators. Right. So we're going to be talking about all that. We're going to be talking about, safety in that you do have some parents that come on the school premises to, as we've stated earlier, put matters in their own
I'm aware.
hands. All right. So we're going to talk about that and what schools are doing to prevent those things from happening.
Okay.
And so much more. All right. You want to tune in next week for that show. It's going to be a really good, really, really good show next week. All right. Once again, it's protecting our children, understanding school safety, drugs, and prevention. So thank you so much, Mrs. Nikita Moss-Woodside. In fact, before we leave, because we still have a couple more minutes, I want you to talk to me about, if you want to, you have a private practice as well.
I do.
All right. You want to share about it? So some people who may want to speak with you privately.
Okay. So my company is Helping Hand Intervention Center. My partner, Mrs. Atia Brown. What we do, we journey with parents. We do therapeutic services. That's what we provide, therapeutic services. We help children who are in emotional distress, children who are going through divorce, children who just need a safe space to share. So that's what we are to them. We are that safe space. Our company is now 4 years old. 4 years old. Love it. I'm happy about that.
Congratulations.
And now we're transitioning to something else again.
Okay. So your contacts, you want to share that?
So my contact is 636-5013. You can reach me via that number. Or my email, 636-5013.
So, and these, of course, would be for parents, guardians, teachers who find that there is an issue or could be a potential issue with the child.
Yes. Or who just need a safe space for that child.
To share.
Yes.
Right. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you
the journey.
so much.
We're not alone in this fight.
We have people who are here and present, all the resources that are needed to ensure that your child is wholesome.
Yes.
All right. It's right here in this country. You ain't got to go elsewhere and go off the island and go look for people. We have them right here.
Yes.
Right here.
We do. And we love what we do. I have a team. We have a team. And we love what we do. We partner with our parents.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. This is Mrs. Nikita Woodside. She was a part of today's show. She was excellent in what she did. Of course, you could always reach out to her. She stated her number. And of course, it was just a eye-opening show. For me too, because I got my little piece of deliverance in this little space of time. I'm gonna give my daughter, as I stated, give her just space, to consider whether or not she wants to continue, and if she doesn't, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah. So thank you for those listeners, those who are tuning in for the very first time via radio. Thank you for my continued Your Lane Talk Show listeners. You've been excellent. Thank you, Chris, for holding it down, even when let me behave.
With the challenges that came our way,
that's
you handled it very well.
Very, very professional.
Very composed.
And you were composed, and you ensured that I did not act out today. And I want to just thank you for that. Okay. I am Coach Trish Hanna. For those who are tuning in, we are here on Guardian Radio 96.9 every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. So if you want to tune in, you want more of what's been going on and what's been happening, tune in, because it's more than just talking about the students, more than just talking about academics. We talk about other things too. We talk about our health. We talk about the mental well-being of just being alive, just being here in this country in itself, dealing with people, dealing with life, dealing with situations, dealing with our finances. All right. And there's so much more to cover for the Sundays to come. So continue to stay and continue to tune in. I pray that you were all empowered, all educated, and all encouraged to not just stay in your lane, but to take the pressure off our children, man.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I pray that you have a beautiful school year. May this be the best school year for your children ever. May they continue to grow and prosper in every area. May they find the true friends that have been allotted to them, right? True, genuine friends that would be able to keep their backs and to hold their hands along the way and encourage them to do the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah. They will not succumb to peer pressure. They will not succumb to drugs and alcoholism. They will not succumb to any form of, sexual promiscuity. They will remain focused. They will remain steadfast, and they will do what is needed to ensure that they complete this year and it be a success. All right. That's my blessing over the students and also the teachers for 2026, 2027. We're out, y'all. Happy Sunday. May God continue to bless you. Until next time. Bye-bye.